Nigeria might become an Islamic state sooner than later. The Islamic State in West Africa province, ISWAP, a splinter of Boko Haram, is growing in power and influence. From its territorial base on the banks and highlands of Lake Chad, this jihadist group is waging a guerrilla war across northeastern Nigeria and elsewhere on the lake's periphery. By filling gaps in governance and service delivery, it has cultivated a level of support among local civilians that Boko Haram never enjoyed and has turned neglected communities in the area and islands in Lake Chad into a source of economic support. If Nigeria and its neighboring Lake Chad states want to sever the bond between ISWAP and these communities, and they should, then they cannot stop with countering ISWAP in battle. They will need to complement military action by filling service and governance gaps that ISWAP has exploited. Displacing ISWAP will not be easy, although the group's methods are often violent and coercive. It has established a largely symbiotic relationship with the Lake Chad area's inhabitants. The group treats local Muslim civilians better than its parent organization did, better than its rival faction, Jama'atu Alis Suman, which is abbreviates as a JAS, does now. In some ways better than the Nigerian state and army have done since the insurgency began in 2009. It digs wells, policies cattle rustling, provides a modicum of health care, and sometimes disciplines its own personnel whom it judges that to have unacceptably abused civilians. In the communities it controls, its taxation is generally accepted by civilians, who credit it for creating an environment where they can do business and compare its governance favorably to that of Nigerian state. ISWA's approach appears to have paid dividends in terms of recruitment and support, with an estimated 3,500 to 5,000 members according to crisis groups sources. It overshadows JAS, which has roughly 1,500 to 2,000, and appears to have gained the military upper hand over the latter. It has also caused real pain to the Nigerian military. Its primary target, overrunning dozens of army bases and killing hundreds of soldiers since August 2018. As its name suggests, ISWAP is affiliated with the Faded Islamic State or ISIS caliphate in Iraq and Syria, whose remnants count ISWAP victories as their own. ISWAP appears to be working hard to gain greater favor from its namesake organization, and it has obtained some support already, notably in the form of training, though it is not clear how significant a boost this will afford. ISWAP's deepening roots in the civilian population underscore that the Nigerian government, and to a lesser extent those of Cameroon, Chad and Niger, cannot look purely to military means to ensure its enduring defeat. Instead, they should seek to weaken ISWAP's ties to locals by proving that they can fill service and governance gaps, at least in the areas they control, even as they take care to conduct the counter-insurgency as humanly as possible and in a manner that protects civilians. To combat immunity among the security services, they should release the reports of the panel that President Muhammadu Buhari appointed in 2017 to investigate alleged military abuses and implement those recommendations that advance accountability. They should enhance public safety in towns that are under government control in Borno and neighboring states where ISWAP is building influence. They should take care that in seeking to cut off ISWAP access to local markets, they do not alienate locals by also strangling their ability to trade. And even though negotiations to end hostilities may not be a realistic prospect at this time, they should keep lines of communication open with ISWAP, focusing on practical issues such as how to get more humanitarian assistance to local communities. What is the IMN? Formed About 4 decades ago, it advocates the creation of an Iranian-style Islamic State in Nigeria. It was heavily influenced by the Iranian Revolution, which saw Ayatollah Khomeini take power in 1979 after the overthrow of the US-allied Shah in a popular uprising. Khomeini remains the group's main inspiration. IMN supporters first pledge allegiance to him and their gatherings, and then to their local leader, Sheikh Zazaki. The IMN views itself as a government and Sheikh Zazaki as the only legitimate source of authority in Nigeria. It does not recognize the authority of the Nigerian government and views its leaders, both Muslims and Christians, as corrupt and ungodly. It has well-organized branches and administrative structures in most Nigeria's 36 states to give it the semblance of a government. The IMN also operates its own schools and hospitals in some states in northern Nigeria where most Muslims live. The Islamic movement has a registered foundation called the Fudiya Foundation, under which there are over 360 primary and secondary schools. This largely reduces the burden on the government of its inability to provide basic education to the populace, it says on its website. Many of its members are known to be well-educated professionals, and some of them hold posts in the army, police, and intelligence agency. Ç0M1ÑG, a US-based analyst with the Jamestown Foundation think tank, argues that the presence of IMN members in the civil service shows that it supports an Islamic evolution rather than revolution in Nigeria. Despite maintaining a lightly armed Hezbollah-like guard corps, a newspaper, and pro-Khomeini imagery on the IMN website and its demonstrations, the IMN has more recently settled for highly public and even ostentatious Shia rituals as its hallmark, as opposed to direct political agitation, he wrote in an article published on 26th of August. How popular is the IMN? The group is the largest Shia organization in Nigeria. It can draw huge crowds, sometimes in tens of thousands, and its gatherings. This is largely because of the efforts of Sheikh Zazaki, who spurred the growth of Shiism in a country where there were a negligible number of Shia before the Iranian Revolution. So, guys, this article is not really a funny one. Honestly, it's not really funny, and most of the time, we always try to be more spiritual, because from this writer's angle, the only thing I can really pinpoint from this whole thing is that these people who are trying to, this whether they are insurgents or they are Islamic, or irrespective of what they call them, they are using the opportunity of government not doing what they are supposed to do to be able to capture people. And just like we are even hearing of this ISWAP. ISWAP is the Islamic State of a West African province, ISWAP. So they are trying to, maybe they fell out from this all this Boko Haram, they fell out from them, and now they are now using opportunities, since there's this awareness that people are telling all these their children not to yield to that this kind of a recruitment. They just recruit them and start telling them, brainwashing them, go and do this, go and do that. Now they themselves, after they fell off from the Boko Haram, they are now using strategy to be able to entice these people, to entice the civilians, to entice the communities, to entice the locals, by providing basic amenities that the government fails to do. And like where they are really based, and is really affecting the north east part of the country and other neighboring countries like Lake Chad and Niger. And that's why they are trying to advise the government to do the needful. The only thing that they can do to be able to get hold of these people, or to make their presence not to be felt, is for them to do the needful, provide the social amenities. Now the reason why they could really gain ground in those areas is because of education, still because of education. because these people, these children are not well informed, they are not well educated, they just left them, and they will be telling you, oh, they know how to play politics, they know how to do this and that, but see what it is causing the whole country. They cannot even come to the southern part of the country, because they know that it's going to be difficult. You cannot just tell a child from the southern part of the country all those cock and bull stories and they will agree to you, because they've been conditioned. Most especially those northern children, majority of them have been conditioned to one specific this thing, and they don't want to embrace civilization. They don't want to embrace what other people are doing, and that's why people are still relating to this Islam or no Islam, because whether they are ISWAP, whether they are IMN, whether they are whatever, whether they are Boko Haram, yes, the only language, the religion they are all, you know, associating with is that this Islam. That is where they are associating it, and that's why it is very, very difficult for people to be able to differentiate all these people from Islam. And that's why people always say, oh, no, everybody, they just say, okay, just categorize them, or just say they are all Muslim that are committing all this havoc, and there we come out in another breath. No, it is not all Muslim, that these guys are just using the religion upside down. Of course, we understand all of those things. So because of the area at which the government has not even done its own part, that's why these guys are just trying to deceive the locals. See what they are providing. See what they are providing. And the government is not doing much in that area. So in a simple term, it's just for the government to do the needful. More, give education more to these people, give them the social amenities that they desire. Not that you just can't put everybody now. We still have IDP camps. What are they still doing there? If in that place, they see corruption in that area. And I can hear some people now, oh, praying, oh, it is not a praying, oh, it is not our portion, it will not happen by the grace of God, by the this and that. God is a principled God. Let the government do their part. Once you have done your part, yes, you know that, God, I have done my part, then I put everything to you. Just do the needful. From the advice that is being given to the government, do your part. Do your part. Give these military people good equipment that they need to work with. Provide, their welfare. Provide for them. Do things that will really encourage these people. Our military, they are very, very ready to work. They are very, very ready to go to the battlefield. But what do they have to go to the battlefield with? What would they go with? Is it like they said, the equipment or the arms that they were using during the time of Shagari? Up to now, they have not been able to step up their games. And that's why these guys, like I always say, they will tell you they have defeated Boko Haram, this and this and that technically. But these guys, they've stepped up their games. See the people that fell out from them. This ISWAP that fell out from them now. They are using opportunity, for what government cannot do. And those are the things they are selling to these people. And before you know, they will just buy it. Of course, they're having their own government, paying taxes and all of that. And people will believe it. See what we are doing. So this government is not doing this thing. Why would you want to support this government? And before you know it, and that is why this particular article is talking about why Nigeria might become an Islamic state sooner than later, because of all the operations of these people, the tactics they are using. What is our own government doing? No, somebody who is not carrying anything, who is just talking with his mouth, that is the person they are putting all their efforts, venting all their anger on. That the person is the one that wants to unseat them. And meanwhile, see what all these insurgents, this group of Islams, see what they are doing. See what they are doing. They could not even get their own intelligence report concerning all of these things. When some people even go out of their way, some groups go out of their way to get all this information, bringing it to the government, they will not even accept. They will not even listen to them. Yet they have various departments. They have aides. They have all manner of people working for them. What are they doing? Will they spend money on them? What are they doing? What advice are they giving the government? Nothing. From just back to square one. So guys, I would like to hear from you what you think about this whole thing. Let's hear your take. Thank you very much. Bye.